Hey, how you doing? This is John, and welcome to John's Longbox. I'm here with Apex Comics. How you doing?
Good to see you. Good to see everybody. Staying busy as usual.
Yep. So, I've been on your channel. We were talking before we went live. I've been on so many other people's channels. I've had so many, but you have the Hex, Apex, and something.
Yeah, Rex Hex and Apex show. Yeah, every other Saturday at 11 a.m. Central or noon Eastern.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
We interviewed you with your Heroic Tales book. Nice trailer, by the way.
Yeah, it is. Kyle Prometheus made that trailer for me. I didn't even ask him. He just sent it to me.
Oh, that's
cool. And then the outro, it was made by a Phantasmagoria girl. Again, I didn't ask her to do it.
Yeah.
So I was just talking with Kyle Prometheus 2 days ago, or was it yesterday? I'm losing track of time. About I'll hire him to do a trailer for number 2. If that was an audition, you got the job. If that's just what you like to do, man, I'll throw you some bucks for it. But I could watch both of these trailers. I was really moved. This outro trailer was on my Indiegogo campaign, which is a shame because that was the last of the 3 platforms. So I'm showing it. I was the intro, but the Phantasmagoria one was the on Kickstarter and Fund My Comic. So that one was seen a lot. So what's going on? I'm trying to think. It's been about 4 months since I last saw you, right?
Yeah, I've been trying to get this campaign rolling. At first, I was going to do it on Indiegogo, but I've been running into some problems with my mailing list and trying to actually just launching the thing. So I heard so many explanations about people getting shadow banned, and it kind of scared me off of Indiegogo. So I decided to go to Fund My Comic. It's much easier, in my opinion, for that.
I launched on Fund My Comic for a whole bunch of reasons. One, like you said, the other two, your boy Zach was kicked off of Kickstarter and everything way back in 2018, and then everybody, including my friend RJ from the Fourth Age, who's got to be the most nicest, unoffensive guy in the world, and his comic was shadow banned. So I said, why am I going to spend all this money? Because by the time the campaign came out, I was laying out all the money, and then if it bombs, I don't get to recoup myself. You know what I mean? By a platform that might shadow ban me. So I launched on Fund My Comic, and I tell you this, I make no secret about it. Luke Stone is instrumental in making my comic. I got these coins made up, and of course now I can't find them. Now that I'm trying to show you. But so I made these coins, but I didn't have the coins made by the time the campaign was going up. So I had a computer generated mock-up. I used the same mock-up that the people sent me to show me what the coin would look at. So literally the day of the campaign, the coin showed up. So I swapped out the real picture, and that crashed my campaign because it needs to get approved. You know what I mean? Luke can't approve something, and then you sneakily change everything around and then launch. I didn't know that. So I was freaking out. You can imagine. I was like, oh my God. Hours before launch, and I'm getting a 404.
Oh, yeah.
I called Luke, and he's like, hey, yeah, John. And I'm getting madder and madder and madder. I'm like, will you fix my freaking camp? What are you chatting to me about the weather for? He's like, it's fixed. I was like,
nice.
But he laughed. He understood why I was getting all emotional. But and then I set up the payment process wrong. Stripe. I'm not a computer guy,
too.
So I wasn't going to get the money, and Luke fixed it. I was too emotional and a wreck to figure out how to fix it. So I called Luke. Luke called Stripe because he's got like a super account with them as the owner of the platform.
Oh yeah.
And we were on a 3-way conversation. I'm not joking, for like 2 hours till we figured out how bad I messed this up, and he fixed it. So I will never leave Fund My Comic. That is going to be my home. I did okay on Kickstarter. I did $1,000. I did like 6,000 on Fund My Comic. I did 1,000 on Kickstarter, and I did like 400 on Indiegogo. Indiegogo, the shadow banning, it's complicated. It's hard information. So I'm done with Indiegogo. I'm never touching it. So I'm gonna do Fund My Comic. I'm gonna launch my campaign, and then when it's over and it's in demand, I think I'll do a Kickstarter just to, like to sweep up crumbs that I may have missed. No disrespect to Luke, he understands business.
Right, exactly.
If I could do it, to me, $1,000 is a lot of money.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I know some big wigs are like, I don't know why you go on Kickstarter, for another $800, $900. I'm like, because I'm a normal, regular blue collar guy. That's
no doubt.
Not to be crude, but that $1,000 could be the difference between making another issue for a guy, with my sales. When I'm up to 40,000, 50,000, 100,000, I'll screw Kickstarter. Who cares? But that's my philosophy. Luke Stone has been. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, he's the guy. He's the owner of Fund My Comic. You don't get that service on Indiegogo, Kickstarter. I don't even know who the guy is for those. So
I don't either. There's a shroud behind the scenes. When you think about it, that's all they are.
Hey, Pity Ma, how you doing, Pity Ma? It's good to see. She rescues pit bulls and takes care of them. Yeah,
Marcus Killigrew, hail.
Marcus, how you doing, Marcus?
Ferret. Old buddy Tank is here.
Ahoy, all you sagacious scallywags. I think we just got visited by a pirate.
Oi.
And as normal, my comic is in demand on Heroic Tales. I was told that I should be getting the comics any day now. I already got the tracking number, notification, so I should be getting my comics, and then I'm going to be fulfilling. I cleaned up my desk. You can see the stack of comics behind me right over here. Where is it?
Oh yeah.
These used to be right here, but I moved them all over here so I could set up a scale, my printer for labels and everything. And I printed up a few labels last night. I was talking about this. I don't know if you were listening. I set up everything for my this thermal Rollo printer for that works for shipping packages and stuff. And I could not get it to work.
Oh no.
I could not get it to work to the point like I was about to smash everything. Contrary to popular belief, I don't handle things well when I get emotional.
I get it.
And I was ready to smash this, and I will say credit where credit is due. I called up the Rollo customer service.
Huh?
I called up, left my information, hung up, and I was like, well, that was a waste of time. It's Saturday night. Phone rang within 2 minutes. This woman, they do remote access through your computer.
Wow.
And I had to say for a moment, I'm like, did I just get scammed? Well, it's a good thing I'm broke. So they got nothing to steal. She took over my computer, and she couldn't figure it out either. And I'm like, oh,
whoa.
You know what the problem was?
What?
I put the labels upside down.
Oh, what the?
So it could, so it was, so she was just like, let's try something. Let's take the label. Boom. And it worked. So
something so
shows you how smart I am.
You never figure it out until it's like the simplest things.
Right. And I said to myself I said this, because I the Rollo, it comes with a little booklet. Click, go to this website and it tells you what to do. And I'm like, what did I do wrong?
Right.
But it never told me which way to put the paper. So it was a 50-50 shot.
That's true. Live and learn. That's
live and learn. But enough about my insanity. Let's talk about, you got a comic called Fembat. Fembat. Yeah, it's not Austin Powers.
Yeah, she didn't fight the bionic woman. No. Let's say you want to do a crossover. That's fine. Yeah. Let's go and bring that up on Fund My Comic.
This is supposed to be volume 1968, not volume 11968. Is
yeah. No, it's it's volume 1.
Volume 1, 1968.
And then it starts with 1968 in the sentence. It's supposed to be space. Yeah, volume 1 and in space. Oh. Yeah, it's okay.
I got it. Yeah, okay. Yeah. 1968, the year I was born, one of my favorite years. Yeah. I have to address this comment, Apex. I'm sorry that you talk to your heart's content. Loving the t-shirt. Does it fit like Under Armour muscle shirts? Well, contrary to popular belief, I don't really wear muscle shirts. I'm not really a gym rat. I know I just look it, but it's not cotton. I don't know what it is. I had my wife put it on.
Yeah.
You know, and she was like, yes, it's very comfortable. My wife's got like very white, sensitive skin. I think it's comfortable, but then I'm on the construction side all day, so I wonder if I have any nerves left at all. But it's comfortable. It's not cotton, because to make a sublimated T-shirt, they don't do it on cotton, because cotton shirts they sew, whereas these shirts they take pieces and they dye the entire piece, and then they sew it together. That's called sublimation. That's how you could get like, you know, like a cotton shirt. They'll put this logo, and I was thinking of, for those who don't want this expensive, because this is $35, but that includes shipping in the United States.
Okay.
I was thinking of just getting a purple shirt with this, you know, on a cotton tee, and then when I do the Mary Sue logo, it's just a logo on a white shirt. So I'll do that. But this I had to, like, you're not going to get a Spider-Man shirt that looks like Spider-Man's costume with the red and the blue unless you get a super expensive for cotton. But to do this is like a polyester nylon.
Yeah.
But it's comfortable. It's comfortable, and they swear that you could wash it. And since like the dye is through it all, it'll never fade. We'll see.
It looks like one of those heroic costumes you see in live action movies.
That's what I wanted. I wanted it to look like I did, you know, and you can, there's like, it looks like he's wearing a cape in the back.
It does.
Yeah.
A wrinkled cape.
Yeah. It's a great shirt. I only got 6. I took one, so that's left 5. Right. Sold 1, and then Renzo and Oscar are getting, so, but they come in like a week. So if anybody orders them, I'll have.
It's like T-shirts on demand, I guess, right?
Yeah, and I should have set up a store. They offered to set up a store, but I just didn't. Hey, Michael Krecky.
That'd be great.
Did I say your name right? I thought I had you on Facebook, but I was apparently wrong. Yeah, there's the Marcus Kellegrew imposter that goes around and.
Is there?
No. Wow. All right, so you were just about to talk about your comic, and then
go and share my screen if you would.
Sure.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes, we're now currently sitting at 13 backers, $679 raised in 13 days, 68% funded. Trying to reach the $1,000 goal. Hopefully, I'll get there soon. And so, it's in 1968. Olivia Del Rey was bitten by a tall, dark stranger who later, that she found out that was a vampire. She was inoculated by a drink of wine, and she was secretly taken away and put back in the club that she was bitten at. And so she discovered she was a vampire. She can't see her reflection in a mirror. She can't go out in the daylight, and she can't attend Catholic mass since she's a Catholic schoolgirl. So she's vowed to find the original vampire who bit her. There's legend saying that if you do find the original vampire and kill them, you will regain your humanity back. So that's her mission to pass 50 plus years. And she's teamed up with a scientist named Professor Nigel Emery, who creates the Fembat battle armor against vampires and monsters. And she has other secondary characters along the way. Igor Van Saint, who's a monster hunter, who's teamed up with Nigel Emery back in like the late 1800s. And Clay, let me go ahead and scroll down so you guys could see the art.
Am I in control of this or you?
I am.
Okay.
And so, there's the main villain. Edmund Corll, also known as the Death Dealer. Here's some bat demons involved in here. We get Igor Van Sant, who's transported into a library, and if you would see some of these books, a bunch of these Comicscape books on the side of the library, little titles and things, I started to throw that in as little Easter eggs. And here's Clay, the cigar chomping gargoyle, who keeps the library and out of order titles, and Igor complains about it, and he goes, "Look, I kind of saved your life back there from these bat demons, so not for you to insult my library, all right? So, you schmuck. And just a character I just created just off the fly. And we see Fembat flying over the castle outside the city, following this this dark vapor trail. There's a vampire from the club that she ran into, like right here. These pages are somewhat out of order, but I decided to create this character as a an homage to, like, I want to see a vampire type hero character in a Hammer movie, but I never did. And Fembat was basically created from that. And instead of a bat symbol, which is already taken, I said, how about some large bulletproof armored boobs, just to accentuate the costume and the character herself. So I decided to put it that way. It's a fun character to draw. I've had some people draw the character, and they seem to enjoy it, and it's really cool. To me, I created the character back in 1998.
Sorry, I hit a button by accident.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Yeah, I created the character back in 98 to be put in a newsletter called Cartoonist Northwest newsletter, just to try it out. And I decided to make it a weekly strip, a large weekly comic strip. I never got that off the ground. So back in 2019, I discovered in my art files, there's some Fembat stuff. I went, I'll just make a book. I got very pumped up and enthusiastic. So I wrote, illustrated, lettered, all by hand, and produced 56 pages of pulse-pounding superhero horror action. You guys should sink your teeth into Fembat. Buy it today. If you buy it at this broadcast, I'll throw in a free sketch card for any people who want to back it during your broadcast. And just mention in the notes that you saw it on John's Longbox, and I'll provide the card along with the Fembat merchandise that you buy today. I'll put that in the mail. The release date for everything to start mailing would be July 23rd of 2025. That's the projected date. I plan on shutting down this campaign around mid-May, so I could get all the logistics together, see how many books I need to print, this and that. And you guys will be very, very happy. I've spent a lot of time on this. Yeah.
So you do it all? You're the artist, writer?
Yeah. Creator, artist, writer, letterer, sometimes colorist. I've got some stretch goals here. I'm just going to go through those. But we'll go through the campaign. You get $25. You get the wraparound main cover by me, Brett Cantrell, my real name. And $25 limited to 1,000 copies. You get the Fembat Moonlight variant. And for $20, you get a sketch cover. You could draw on the cover. All wrap around sketch cover, only $5 less at $20. $70, you get all three covers, and I'll sign them if you want to. Just let me know if you want it signed or unsigned. Get a nice $7 mini comic. This is my super team from the 1980s, Enforcer Inc. versus the Devastator. This will be a full color mini comic 4x6 book. And at $125, you get the Fembat Fiesta Everything tier. You get all three covers, plus limited edition bookmark, which is a big bookmark. 2 limited edition prints, an 11x17 fold-out poster, a bonus mystery ash can, and, of course, the Enforcer versus Devastator mini comic. Throw it in there. At $400, you get the original pages.
Oh, wow.
And I'll throw in a wraparound cover Fembat book with your purchase of an art piece. So be happy to do that for you guys. And I will add a few more stuff along the way once that gets rolling. Now for the goals I have, you get $2,500. You get a free giant Fembat bookmark, which you'll see up in the top screen. At $5,000, the entire book will be full color. When this happens, I will provide a variant black and white edition for you guys who want black and white. For $7,500, I'll add in 8 more pages, and for $10,000, I'll have a Finbat trading card for everyone.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just keeping this nice and simple.
Yeah, I think simple works the best. Martin Crichton says gargoyles, contrary to popular belief, are guardian spirits. Yes, that's the whole premise of the gargoyles cartoon from the 90s. Is that they're like, I forget. It's been so long since I watched that cartoon, but they were like either just genetically in their DNA to protect, or they were created to protect. I forget. But yes, gargoyles were originally good guys to scare away. They look monstrous to scare away monsters to protect libraries or vaults or people.
Yeah. Yeah, in this case, Clay the cigar chopping gargoyle protects the library. He's actually trapped in the castle, but you'll figure out once you read the book what goes on there.
So I scroll down to that library where we have.
Yes, I will. I will do that.
I really like that. I keep trying to look to see, is Heroic Tales one of those books on the shelf?
No, actually, I produced it 4 years ago.
Oh, well.
I could possibly add.
I'm busting your chops.
Yeah, this right here. Yeah, you get full scale some CG books or Cyberfrog, Cash Grab, and a bunch of others on each of the walls. You get to
cool.
This is that took me over
I was going to say that's a lot of work to do that.
The perspective and the lines and just throwing everything in there by hand. And there's the opposite side of the library, a few other titles here, a deep perspective, 1-point perspective, and you get Clay on top of a bookcase.
Let's scroll down a little more. There's one image over here on the right there where it says Fembat in the reward tier, where she's got her arms out.
Oh yeah,
I love that.
Oh, you like that one? Oh, cool.
Yeah, thanks. That I really, really love that. It reminds me of the 40s, the Fury.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody remember. I'm sure Marcus in the chat knows the Fury, and I can't remember the creator who did the Fury, but
yes. Oh God.
yeah,
Lord,
it's on the tip of my tongue.
Shoot, Billy Tucci will just rattle it off.
Yeah, he did a Fury, but the Fury I think was
Tarpe Mills.
Yeah, Tarpe Mills. It was a woman, and she did like really risque. It was very risque, and I don't know, but it was black and white. The strips that I got, at least, I don't know. It just evokes kind of like, because this is 1968. This book is set.
Well, actually, she was bitten in 68. This is current day.
Oh, she's a vampire. She ain't gonna.
Yeah.
So she gets cured now. Let me ask you. Maybe this is a spoiler, but answer if you want. So right now, tomorrow, she kills the honcho. She gets human. Does she age up and die, or does she continue like her life was on pause, and then she just continues from that point on?
That's yet to be determined.
Okay, I figured that was a plot point that you didn't want to answer, but.
Yeah, that's yet to be determined, really. Yeah,
because that's one of my pet peeves is like a guy who's immortal for 6,000 years, and then he gets the injection and he ages, and I'm always like, I said to my wife, that takes energy. Like that cell needs to mitosis and everything like that. Like, where's that energy coming from? And my wife says, just watch the movie.
Yeah, don't think anything into it, dear. Just
watch when we talk about multiverses in comics.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do I want soup? Nah, I instead I'm going to have a sandwich. And now a whole universe is created where instead of the sandwich, I had the soup, and I always say, well, where did the energy come from? Like, that is the most arrogant thing our decisions create an entire infinite universe. We don't have, where's the energy created? And if we could just create universe like that, why can't we have cars that drive? And my friend's like, you think about this stuff too much. I'm like, somebody's got to.
Yeah, it's like, why do we not have flying cars? Well, there's drunk drivers on the road. I don't think you want drunk drivers in the sky. That would be pretty bad.
Yeah, if we have flying cars, it's almost like they have to be like self-driving.
Yeah, well, good luck to that one. I'm like, wow. Yeah, if they could control it well enough without any accidents, but you never know. I don't think flying cars are going to pretty much fly when were concerned, and a lot of irresponsible drivers and this and that.
Yeah. So what are her powers?
Well, she has a superhuman strength like a vampire, but her suit augments her strength a little more, so she can fight some monsters that are bigger and stronger than she is. She has a dart gun that shoots scarlet darts and other types of, like silver and other types of darts. She has battle-ready wings. She can chop through steel and concrete, and she flies. And there's different little gadgets here that a lot of you guys may not know yet. When you read the book, it'll reveal some of the gadgets that she uses.
Could she turn into a bat?
No.
I was gonna say, because then her armor would have to.
It would have to stay behind. So yeah, no, she doesn't. She's pretty much our bat herself. She has her armor, so I guess there's no reason really to turn into a bat.
That's cool. That's I would like to, a lot hinges on issue number 2 of Heroic Tales. I would like to, I have a 3rd comic in the wings, and then a 4th after that, and then my 5th comic is probably going to be a horror, like an R-rated, and it's going to show, and it's going to be tied into Heroic Tales. Everything is going to be tied into Heroic Tales in some capacity. And I want to explore how vampires work. So I'm really interested in your vampire lore.
Yes, exactly. I've even toward the end of the book, I've added some of my other titles to actually roll into the Fembat around my Apex Comics universe. You'll find out what you purchased the book at the last 5 or 6 pages of the Fembat.
So you have a whole world with like other characters.
I do. Yeah.
I think people like us who want to make comic books, we think about the whole world and populate. That's what you get from reading Marvel and DC our whole lives.
Exactly.
Because the Fantastic Four exists in the same world where there's the Mummy and stuff like that, and Doctor Strange,
Boom, and Doctor Strange, the Hulk, etc. This is the first book that I produced back in 1996. This is under the Apex Graphics logo, but changed it to Apex Comics as of 2020. The Executor and Femme Fatale.
Oh wow, a flip book.
Yeah,
that's what I want to do with my comic. Is one side's gonna have the Patriarch, you flip it over, it's gonna have Mary Sue.
Yeah, you get 16 pages of the Executor, who's this guy right here. He's a cross between Moon Knight and the Punisher, kind of rolled into one.
Cool.
And you get Femme Fatale, which you get 3 fun superhero chicks hanging out in Seattle. You get Mongoose, Caracal, and Angel Fire.
Oh, cool.
Represents 3 different identities of women. You get the super fast-paced woman, you get the animalistic woman, and you get the spiritual woman. So there's 3 rolled into one. Becomes a super team in Seattle.
Are you from Seattle?
No, I lived there for a little bit. I'm originally from Texas, and I went back to Texes.
I had a friend who lived in Seattle. The reason why I asked is he was the manager of the Space Needle, and every time I would visit him, we would go up there.
I went up there a few times. I like the Space Needle. It's fun.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever read the comics, The Elementals, but that was based in Seattle. In the first issue, they had a fight in the Space Needle.
Yeah.
Every time I went up there, I would, this is where the Elementals were.
Elementals. Yeah. Phil Willingham, man. What a, good writer. He's a decent artist.
I love his art.
It's good.
He's only gotten better, but he doesn't. He says on Twitter, he's like, everybody gets mad at me because I don't draw. Because I draw constantly. It's just you don't see it. I'm like, well, then it does me no good.
Well, put it out, Bill.
Yeah, make a comic. But I understand the guy. I think he got rich from writing. I don't think he got rich from art. So,
yeah, that's funny because like Larry Hama. Remember Larry Hama? Larry Hama. Before he went to G.I. Joe, he drew Iron Fist, a Marvel premiere, in the early 70s issues. And then he started to, I guess, write it. And then I think Claremont took over Iron Fist and John Byrne was drawing it.
Yeah.
And it was great.
I forgot that I got to look back now. I forgot that because I know he drew a bit of G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
but there was like nothing Larry Hama couldn't do. He was a musician. He was in the military. You know, he was hard, but he was just a great editor. Like everything that because I had John Byrne. I had Jim Shooter on my channel, and we talked about that. And he said Larry Hama, he just left him alone because I didn't have to. Larry, you know. So and then Chuck Dixon was saying that he worked under Larry Hama, and it was you just did what he said. It was very tough, but once you gained his respect, he left you alone.
Oh yeah. Hama was an actor also. I think he was in a MASH episode.
Oh really?
Yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Yeah. He's like the Christopher Lee of comics, right?
He kind of is. Yeah.
And he's very intimidating. I actually went to a comic convention a month or two ago, right before my accident, and with the intentions of like asking people to come on my channel, and he did not look happy to be there. Oh. And I read that he doesn't like going to conventions, so I was like, I intimidated myself. I didn't talk to him.
Yeah, I heard he's kind of, he could be nice and he could be rough. That's what I hear.
Yeah. I guess when he sees his comics are being sold on Kickstarter for $3 million and he ain't getting any of it, you know, I'd be a little bitter too. No, but that's why you're doing what you're doing. You own Fembat, you know.
I do own it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Among other IPs, but yeah.
Yeah. Renzo, my artist, and I, we joke about this all the time. That if he gets, you know, because he's working with Aaron Sparrow, Kneel Before Doomface, and that's doing gangbusters right now.
Right.
So I'm like, so Renzo, when you know, because Aaron has connections in the movies and Netflix and stuff. He wrote for Darkwing Duck and everything. Oh, cool. So I'm like, so when Doomface becomes a Netflix series, I said, all that I ask is that when you or a movie is that you wear your patriarch shirt when you walk on the red carpet. So people have to ask.
Yeah. So, go ahead.
I was just thinking about that. And Mark, again, sounds like I'm patting myself on the back, but I guess I am. Mark Miller was on my channel and we talked, and then Mark backed my comic.
Yeah.
So I went to Renzo. I said, Mark Miller backed my comic. I said, he never read anything I wrote, so he's not backing for my writing. He's backing because he liked your art, Renzo. So what are you going to do when Mark Miller comes knocking and you're drunk? I said, when you're rich, don't forget about it. And he goes, if Mark Miller hires me, he goes, I'll draw Heroic Tales for free. So there we go. Come on, Mark. I don't want to pay for artists anymore.
Yeah. I was thinking, does Mark Miller draw as well as he writes? I think he just writes, right?
He just writes. Okay. Maybe he does draw, but I haven't seen his art, because Chuck Dixon started out as an artist.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
And Mike Barron says he still to this day draws out his scripts in stick figures and stuff.
Oh, great.
To help out his artists. But, you know, I mean, I draw pictures to Renzo.
Yeah.
Of what I want the characters to look like, but it's as if a fourth grader drew them. So I send him fourth graders quality art, and he turns it into outstanding stuff. So, but you write and you draw your own comic,
right?
Did you go to any school, or you self-taught?
Well, I went to Texas Tech and the art program, did design communications, and I learned packaging design and illustration and just your basic graphics. This before the computer. We had to do them all by hand. All just paints, acrylic paints. They suggest acrylics paints. I was thinking, I like markers, because that's just me. I've been doing markers for like several years. And when I put together a script per se, I write it longhand on a tablet, on a regular, just paper tablet.
Oh, really? You don't type? What are you, a barbarian? Even I type.
I'm a barbarian. Yeah, I longhand the script, and then I draw it out. Or if I see something really cool, I draw it out first, and then come up with some scripts or some scripts afterwards, after the artwork.
Oh, really? So you have like let me see if I'm. So you'll draw something. This looks cool. How can I work it into my story?
Right.
Okay.
I can just do that. Yeah, that's what artists do. I'm basically a self-taught writer. I read books, I read comics, and I read just whatever I can. And I just write something that makes sense, make sure my grammar is correct, and everything else is good. That's easy to read, that's people can understand. And I write it longhand, and then I put the pages together. I pencil them. Then I add the lettering, right, with the abacus, the old school what do you call it? The lettering, Ames lettering guide. This guy right here.
Yeah, I didn't even know that thing existed. I think Marcus brought that up.
Yeah,
that he still has it. What is that?
Yeah.
So what is that? It's just a stencil with all the letters, and what do you?
No, actually, it's spacing. It uses spacing. You can adjust the spacing here, and I have the tape just to lock in the space that I need. And if I want to adjust it, you just take the tape off. You adjust the size of it by the circle dial. Oh, let me take that off.
You don't take the tape off if that's going to mess you up.
Yeah, it's not. No, it's cool. You just kind of rotate it. And the spaces, you put it on your drawing table with your T-square. You line them up. You just draw lines with your your non-photo blue pencil, so that way it doesn't produce on the original art. I mean, the copy of the art that you're producing, and then you letter it in the space there, and you letter it. You add the explanations and all that stuff. So yeah.
Wow, that's
good stuff.
Wow, a lot of work to letter. You know, I sent I hired Bill Williams to do my lettering. Bill Williams,
nice,
lettered for Bill Willingham, and he has his own comic called Pantheon, and he also has a Pantheon and Tomorrow Girl on Kickstarter right now. But he's a phenomenal letterer. I noticed a few things that I wanted to change, so I messaged him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, it's easy to fix."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh," I said, "You're not mad?" He's like, "Nah, yeah, I'll fix it." And he fixed it in like, I don't know, but like 2 hours later, he said, "All I can imagine is fixing it with one of those. Man, that's got to be a chore." If
it's a bitch.
There's no. If you're doing it old school like that, so I'm an old fart. I like hand-drawn artwork. I really like the old color, hand-drawn coloring and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
But even I got to admit, it's probably better to do digital lettering.
Yeah, I've lettered my stuff for like years. I've gotten better at it, and I'm so used to doing it. And it's habit. When I produce a page, here's a page dedicated to Jim Steranko. If you want to go ahead and blow myself up a bit,
you got it.
Yeah, this is page 8. This is the original. This is the offset colors. Well, tryout colors. Instead of the brass golden boots, I had silver just to try it out, But I preferred the gold. But here you'll see the Steranko on the side of the garage door.
Oh, yeah. Duh.
Yeah. So thank you, Jim Steranko, for influencing some of my work. And also, I don't think you know about this. I think Jim Steranko claims he has started the go-go dancing period of the 60s.
Really?
He wanted the women in the bands to dance around and stuff. So he kind of started it, according to Jim Steranko. So I also thank Jim Steranko for being an influence, being the go-go dancing, that the Finback character was a go-go dancer back in the late 60s. And, of course, she got bit by a vampire. So there you go.
I got to look that up. Not that I'm doubting you, but if it's true, I want to know more about this.
Yeah, I think it's in a documentary. I think I heard it. It was on YouTube. I heard him talk about it. I'm like, you know what? It makes sense because he was a musician, or still is. He plays guitar. And he's been playing guitar in bands. He's an escape artist, and he's an artist and writer. So yeah, some of my lettering here. I got, just a little gist of my lettering here and there.
Okay.
Yeah, stuff. It's just so habitual. If I produce a page, I'm saying, well, I got to put the letters in. I got to see what the plot's on the page. It's just second nature when it comes to that.
Yeah, I don't know. Because I was like, how, like when I saw a panel, Renzo sent, my artist Renzo sent a page in, and there was just one panel I just wanted to get fixed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if I ask him to fix it, like I guys, this is gonna sound bad, but you got to think into money and everything. You know, you have to. You know, blue collar guy.
Yeah.
So I'm like, do I have to pay him to redo the whole page? Like, oh man. And then I'm like, is it my fault for not describing it better? And I couldn't sleep. And finally, the next day, I just asked Renzo, and he was like, oh, okay. 20 minutes later, it's fixed. I go, how did you redraw it? He goes, he said it was 3 taps. And I didn't understand what he meant until I realized he draws digitally. It was 3 taps that removed the layer. And
you could do that digitally, which is great.
Yeah.
But if you're doing it traditionally, well, forget about it.
That's what I thought. You know, I was like, oh man. And then same thing, like I want to change this word balloon. It just doesn't look right. You know, so I'm like, oh Bill, do I okay. But digitally he just fixed it. He said it took nothing. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I was like, if you want to charge me again, but I can't in good conscience. He's like, okay, you know, whatever. The only thing he said is keep it for a week and then let me know all you fix it at once instead of one at a time, which he's absolutely right. I see you moving this around. You want me to bring this up? Oh, nope.
Yeah, let me see if there's any progress. Yeah, man, if you back it today, I'll draw you up. During this broadcast, I'll draw you up a free sketch card. I've done a couple of sketch cards already. Yeah. Not same. It's the same. It's all right.
Yeah, well, it's noon. We'll get one. Yeah.
That's right.
Excuse me.
Here's some examples of a couple of sketch cards I produced. And you get the nice almost full body and you get a little bust right here. I'm drawing up another one.
I think you get a bust in both of them.
Yeah, exactly. Doing the third one right now. Add some more. So whenever I get some backers during.
Is this your first campaign?
This is my very first campaign. Yeah.
So how nervous are you?
I'm not nervous at all. I'm just gonna put it out there and let the chips fall as they may.
Because that other book that you did, the Executor.
Yeah.
How did you do? Was that wasn't crowdfund? That was like what?
No. This was back in '96. That was when Diamond pretty much took over everything.
Okay.
You have to submit your work to Diamond to be, distributed and all this. But I'm glad it's not like that anymore. It's too much of a monopoly, and a lot of my stuff that was in there, it was not accepted. So I'm like, well, I'll just go and keep producing because I love to do it. And I went to consigned it in different shops, got a few sales here and there, gave it away as Christmas gifts or birthday gifts, and sold a few. And then kept one. And the second issue was like a year later, 97. I went to a small publisher's co-op that was based in Florida. Produced 1,000 copies of the second issue, and sold some, gave some away, and I went to a convention, had a table there, and I sold some over there as well, and kept a lot because if you don't have any distribution, you're pretty much kind of dead in the water. So thank goodness for crowdfunding.
Yeah, it's
really opened up a lot of doors to indie creators like you and I.
Yeah,
we can.
Yeah, Well, I always had dreams of being in comics, but it was always as a Marvel writer. You know, I wanted to write the Fantastic Four ever since I read. It was the first comic I fell in love with. But it wasn't. I'd say about 10 years ago, I started like, wouldn't it be cool to make my own comic? Like me and my friends, we play our role playing game, and I keep showing this off. Villains, vigilantes.
I was a champion's nut when I was going to college, junior college.
Yeah, this and Champions were like the two big superhero role playing. And this is what I like about this game is this book at the time was like $5.
Oh
And
my
this is all you
gosh.
needed. Everything else was just supplement. So I always thought it was like Dungeons and Dragons. You had to keep buying stuff. It was like a drug. You had to keep buying another fix. But this was perfect as it is. And I think that kind of killed it because everybody who's interested bought the game. And then you didn't have to buy the supplements. Those were just like adventures. But I'm so glad I bought those supplements because it was Bill Willingham, his first work.
Mark
Dan
Williams.
Panosian.
Yeah, Patrick Zurcher, I think was
Patrick Zurcher.
Yeah.
You know, they good. Yeah, so you know your V&V lore. So I mean, even though I like to make up my own stories, I like to get it because they were like comics. You know, they had characters and stories, and and I would data mine them for ideas and stuff. So like now that I'm making comics based on I got to be like, oh, wait a minute, did I make this up or is this like a Bill Willingham module? Is this Jeff D? You know what I mean? I got to remove that and make my own stuff. So when me and my friends are sitting around playing, it's okay to use their characters.
And each adventure can be a comic book issue, which is really cool.
Yeah.
We're when I was in a role-playing champions with some other people, we called our team Heroes Unlimited because we didn't know how many people were going to be in the campaign. Some people ditched out, some people come back in. There's just heroes all over the place. And
that's why I liked role-playing superheroes because it was like very rarely did I used to joke around. It's like tonight's an annual, meaning it was like a multi-story grand story. But single issues, it was just like, okay, bad guy X attacks, they react, they fight, they do this. And then we would do a little bit of like character stuff at the beginning at the end. So it was easy for you to jump in. Marcus is playing with us one day and then Marcus isn't playing. That's pretty, but Dungeons and Dragons, it was Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Like, Aragorn had to be there every session, so and I always hated like, okay, you're knocked out and what, you're just not there. And then so I kind of drifted away from Dungeons and Dragons, but Villains Vigilantes, I learned how to gauge it. So like we could do this in one night. We could do this in one night. We could do this in 2 nights. And then I had everybody, like at one point I had like 6 consistent players. Everybody had 3 characters.
Yeah.
So like if you couldn't show up, I'm such an anal retentive. I was not playing a continuation to a story where your character was there, but now he's not there. So we would do like 3 or 4 stories simultaneously.
Right.
Okay. So we got 4 of the 5 players. We could do this story. We got, everybody's here. We could do this story. So we would jump back. And it was funny because every once in a while, a guy would like, oh man, I didn't bring my character. I was like, always bring all your characters. How many times do you got to go through this?
It's like bring your notebook, bring your homework into class.
Oh, Marcus even puts up this. This is my forum.
Is this the Marcus that you play role playing games with? Or
no,
Marcus?
I wish Marcus lived near. If Marcus lived nearby me, I think we get in trouble hanging out all the time. I'm in New York. I think Marcus, where are you in North Carolina, Atlanta, Georgia?
I think he is in the South. Yeah,
but and Marcus invited me to stay at his place for Heroes Con, and I'm so mad.
Cool.
I'm so mad I didn't take him up because I was saving my time off for work to fulfill my comic, and now I'm fulfilling my comic. I'm back at work because I didn't anticipate getting into a car accident.
Yeah, I hear that.
So Fembot, Volume 1, 1968. Girl bit by a vampire at her go-go. So it's I love, like you said, it's a Hammer film. Like now I'm thinking of like a 60s little legit go-go. It's
yes.
Like, did you ever see I think it's called Revenge of the Batwoman?
I saw a Mexican Batwoman from 1968. And I never thought about that when I was creating Fembat at all until I saw it like maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I was thinking, whoa, she's very skimpy. She wears the bat cowl and the cape, and she wears like a bikini. I was like, yeah, that's sexy.
And they do, I love all this stuff.
How many Batwomen movies have they made though? I only know of one.
I think there's only one, but I remember there was a she comes into the bad guy's lair and her henchman because the bad guy's like, he's a gentleman bad guy,
Sure.
So he's like, make her comfortable. So he goes, chocolate milk, macaroons. I always thought that was the funniest thing. Like, that's what an evil henchman offers you.
Yes.
Chocolate milk and macaroons. That's what the sophisticated villain serves.
Exactly. Hey, old dirty fatty. All right.
Yeah. Old dirty fatty. I'm still a little kid. Every time I see that name, I giggle.
Oh, no, man.
So let me ask you a question as I choke to death. When you back somebody else's campaign, what like stretch goals? What do you like as stretch goals?
What do I like? I like cards and bookmarks. Ashcans are cool also. Like
I got
comics.
Like this. I really like. I forget what campaign this. Oh,
magnets are cool.
Like I got this Black Tiger Hidden Dragon. I backed, but this is a metal bookmark with this dragon on it. This is one of my favorite pieces of stretch goal swag.
That's cool, man.
I
wonder how much it would be to produce a metal bookmark.
I know, but the comics are big, thick comics. I don't remember what I paid, but I'm trying to think of interesting stuff like
a high quality bookmark with paper. It'll be very cool.
Like I made a pint glass with the patriarch symbol on it, and I made these shirts.
Cool. How are you gonna ship all that?
Well, that's just it. I made this challenge coin.
Oh, okay. Can we blow up your screen? I want to see a little bit. If you can, yeah. Let's see what that looks like. So okay. So that's
tails, and then on the other side.
Oh, that is so cool.
Because I made these coins. I made these coins originally.
Yeah.
It says heroic tails on one side, and then on the other side, it's got the patriarch symbol.
That is cool.
But they take a long time. I used a company called the Norse Foundry, and they take forever. So they weren't. I was like, they're not here in time. So I made a bunch of these in a panic, and these were like 3 times and I sold a few of these, but I'll put them on my campaign for issue 2.
That's great.
But I keep thinking of like, what would be good stretch goals? Would you rather have like cards, or would you rather have more story in a comic?
I would probably. That's really a good question. Cards would be very cool, but I have like sleeves in the back of my book that I keep the cards in. Either one, it's not really gonna matter. Story would be really cool. I would say probably the cards, because it's something that's a little extra to have.
Well, yeah. I don't know if you're aware of Tonic Ball. He has a comic called Saving the World.
No.
And he has a good system. He makes cards as stretch goals.
Okay.
And then for the next campaign, he sells the cards. So whatever he doesn't sell, if he so I made a bunch of cards. Like,
oh, nice. Like
this was the first card. I made the Patriarch card.
Oh, that's cool.
And then on the back, it's got the Villains Vigilante stats. So if I interest anybody in playing Villains Vigilante, and then I did like the Boss Moxie with his stats, and then I made I made it up to his henchwomen. He's got these 3 henchwomen, and then this was so everybody who backed the physical copy is getting these 4 cards.
Oh, man.
But these 3 cards weren't unlocked.
Oh.
And it's a shame because you got some real good Ron Mosicki art on that card.
Cool.
And it's got their stats. And this is a spoiler. So if anybody could freeze this, blow it up, you could read, because I kind of hint at what he could do in the comic, but this spells it out. And then the last henchwoman, and then the main bad guy. So
oh wow,
I find these to be like important card. So I guess 1, 2, 3. So I guess on issue 2, I'll have a Heroic Tales 1 card pack that you could purchase. You know what I mean? And I guess I'll make it like the missing 3, or all 7. You know what I mean? But I'll tell you for issue 2, I got a lot of cards because there's going to be a lot of characters.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a lot of cards. I love the cards. I love the cards.
I do
But
too.
I also did an 8-page backups because I'm crazy. So I got excited, and I did too much. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
No. There's a possibility to come up with a Fembat Zero. I'm hiring a Rich Parada who's worked at Marvel and DC back in like the 90s, and we're good YouTube friends and such. And I need to get back with him on that since it's been kind of a few months in between. He's an art educator in Britain right now.
Okay.
He's originally from New York. Very cool guy, very good artist. And so I'm hiring him for 8 pages. I'm thinking, okay, I do need a Fembat origin story to explain why she's hunting down the vampire and this and that and what she's going through. So that's something I will do throughout the campaign. Hopefully I'll get it all finished before distributing the book in late July. And so we'll have to get down on that. So that'd be another one to put in as a possibility. Let's see.
Dirty Fatty knows me. He's been watching for a while.
Yeah, let's see. Matthew Creek says had comic listed as 28 page, counting the covers. That's 32 pages cover to cover. Yeah, you could add those extra 3 pages from the cover and just put in what you need to. Additional information, introduction to the book, and maybe the last back cover could be like introducing the second issue or an ad, or maybe it's a little bit of an editorial thing.
I went with Comics Wellspring, and it had to be divisible by 4. So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
It has
4.
So, and it just so happened that I had the right number. Otherwise, I would have scrambled for an extra page or 2. But
yeah,
it has to be divisible by 4, and that includes the covers.
Your signature pages, yes, front and back. Yeah, those are very important.
So, do I go with 28 or 30? Well,
I would say. Well,
I tell people how many interior pages, and then I say plus a cover.
Yeah, cover to cover, you have 32, but with the story pages, 28 pages. So, I'd say 28-page book. You're gonna have a cover automatically, which adds the extra 4 pages. So
what do I mean? Do I list it? So I would say just like you said,
Yeah, 28 pages. Yeah,
28 interior pages.
Yeah.
And it's a 40-page book with 1, 2, 3, 4, 36 interior pages.
Yeah, if you have
that way nobody could say like, oh, your language tricked me or whatever. Because believe me, whatever you do, somebody's gonna call you on it.
Yeah, I'd say a 28-page book. That would be safe to say, because you're going to have a cover automatically with it.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, unless the inside cover has the artwork as as page 1, that you could do that too. But Old Dirty Fatty says, for when we were talking about stretch goals, do a night of gaming a stretch goal. I joked about this, but many a truth is said in jest. I joked that if I made it to $100,000, that I would fly people over, like you, you come to my house. If I make $100,000, come to my house, and then we make up Fembat, and you play Fembat, and I'll role play the game. Like Renzo will be the patriarch.
Right.
RJ will be Thomas Valiant. Brian Bow will be Wolf and Batsy. Fabrizio, he'll be Horace H.U. And we all, and then I make up a story where all of these, it's like the ultimate crossover event live.
Yeah, man.
And I was going to say, if you want to put on costumes, but we would be giggling if you put on a
well, I don't know. I'll bring a girlfriend to play to put the costume on. Yeah, definitely. It's a chick. It has to be a woman to be
and Irene, who does Fiendish, she's into role playing, and she's like, "Oh, I want to come." So like, people would watch just to see that. Just to, fun. And I got this huge table right over there. Here, I'll add a camera just so you can see what I'm talking about.
Oh, there you go. Oh yeah.
See, I got this big role-playing table right over there.
Now, let me ask you something. How did you connect your camera to? Do you just connect it to your laptop or your?
Well, this is I paid for extra StreamYard.
Oh. Okay.
So and one of the options is extra camera, because before I was doing that, I was just sending the link out again and then using an extra, and that would just create echo.
Yeah.
So when you go down to where it says present, like right now you're sharing this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you go to present, what does it say? Slides, video file, share screen.
Yeah, slides.
Does it say file. Extra camera?
No, it says slides, video file.
Yeah, because you didn't buy the upgrade.
No, I haven't. I'll have to get the upgrade then.
But the thing is, I paid for a full year, so I didn't get hit with this price increase.
Yeah.
So I'm sure when my subscription ends, I'm going to get hit with a price increase. So I might not be using, because I see everybody's going to Streamlabs now.
Yeah.
And
I have to do it.
I was on a couple of shows where they had Streamlabs. It looked the same.
Yeah, it's a little bit difference here and there. You just got to get used to it. Oh, you're welcome.
So Matthew, when are you going to go on Kickstarter and come on my channel? We'll talk about your comic. I like,
man. I'll invite him on my stream too. You can promote. Sure. Yeah. If you guys need promotion, my channel, Apex Comics.
Yeah, your channel.
Sub to my channel. I'll need to put my link. Did I put my link in for my channel also? Yeah. I think I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, I did. It's in the private chat. Sorry. I think it's already done.
So there you go. Apex Comics. That's your YouTube channel.
Yes.
So let's bring up your comic. We've been talking for an hour, and like old Dirty Fatty says, I talk over everybody. So anything you want to bring up that I didn't?
Oh, I also have a $7 book. I think, did I mention that? I forget if I have or not. But if you guys thinking that spending over $20 may be pretty hard to do at these economical times, I got a nice cheap $7 book, mini comic, 24 pages, full color. These are my Avengers of the 1980s, Enforcer Inc. Versus the Devastator. It's a kaiju book. You get 24 pages there, full color. You can pick it up today. Yeah, 3 backers on this one, which is pretty nice. And yeah, just if you buy my book during the broadcast, I'll throw in a free sketch card. That's why I'm doing some sketch cards on the side. So once your comic is distributed, I'll throw in that sketch card, and I'll fulfill each of you guys' purchases.
I saw you said you'll sign them if they want.
Yeah, I'll sign. If you want me to sign them. It's just put it inside the notes for when you're buying a book or a set or whatever. If you want something signed, I'll sign it. It's fine. And
I said the same thing. When I get the boxes of comics, I'm going to make a big update on all 3 of my things. And I'm going to say the comics are here. I'm bagging and boarding. If you want me to sign them, I'll sign. I'm not charging. People like, how much will it cost? Who am I? Believe me, guys. If I could sign my comic book and put it on eBay and sign it for $100, I would print 300 more copies and just do that. But
right,
who am I? So if you want a signature, just tell me. Do you want it on the inside? Do you want it on the, you know what I mean? Because old school people, I like my comics autographed in the inside on the bottom.
That's what I do. That's exactly what I do.
New school people, see, this is
put it on the cover. Yeah,
this is how I can tell who doesn't read comics. They sign it on the cover, and then they bag and board it so they could go like, look, Apex Comics signature. How's the comic? I don't know. I don't read it. It's now I could display it and show everybody, or send it to CGC, and show off the autograph. But that's CGC changed the nature of signatures, if you ask me. They used to be inside. Yeah. And now CGC, they put them on the outside, so people, I could charge an extra $200 because it's got a Apex comic. It says Marcus Kelligrew right across the beautiful artwork in Sharpie.
Got to get his work, Marcus Kelligrew comic. That'd be cool.
So I'm going to go eat my lunch that's been sitting right over here smelling delicious. So anything, I know my stomach has been growling. It's a good thing my mic isn't that good. my big old belly. Anything you want to talk about?
Yes, actually, I'll be on Red Valkyrie. We were scheduled. We couldn't do it Saturday, so we scheduled for tomorrow afternoon, 2 p.m. Eastern or 1 p.m. Central. I'll be promoting Fembat, and she's going to cosplay as. We'll find out what she'll cosplay as.
What's the name of the channel?
Red Valkyrie.
Red Valkyrie.
Red Valkyrie. Yes, on YouTube. Yeah.
What time?
1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern time. So
2 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Yeah. Cool, because I'm off tomorrow and I got no plans to do anything. And
watch it.
It's a holiday, so I won't get comics tomorrow. So I'll watch. I'm a man. If she's dressed up like Fembat, I'm probably watching.
Definitely. I'm dying to see what what it looks like. A live action Fembat right there on YouTube. You'll be able to see Shay, who's also known as Red Valkyrie. And
right, yeah.
Cyborg Valkyrie is her partner.
And put in a good word. She does good stuff. I'd like to,
Oh, absolutely. She might love having you on. Yeah, she's really cool. They're both Shay and Cy are great.
Yeah. I see. Yeah. I'll see if she will cosplay as one of these.
Yeah, she's a tall girl, red hair. Yeah, exactly. She could cosplay anyone. I mean, she's very diverse in her costume effects and top notch. I'd say she's quite a gal.
When I put my comic on Kickstarter, like within 2 hours, I got a message, and I was like, "Oh, cool!" Like when I was on Fund My Comic, I didn't get messages. I just got sales, and then on Kickstarter, I got 8 million messages, and most of them were scammers. I could get your comic do really well. I said, if all of you people just back my comic instead of sending me messages, I would do very well. I said,
right?
So back my comic first, do your part, and then I'll, and they never received. But the very first message was a girl, and it had her picture on it. Beautiful girl. Oh, I really like the she called them go-go dancers. I really like the go-go dancers hench women. So she actually looked at my comic profile.
Yeah.
She goes, "Is there any way I could get drawn into the comic?" I said, "Okay." I said, "First off, back the comic." I go, "Second off, the comic's already done, but if you want, I could get you the artist's name and you could commission it yourself." Because she's like, "No, I just want to get drawn in." I'm like, "So you want me to draw you in the comic book, but
you don't want
$10? I don't care what you look like. I'm married. And I got this is a business, lady."
Right.
I thought that was weird. But I didn't get any freaky messages from Indiegogo. I didn't get any freaky messages from Fund My Comic. But Kickstarter, I'm not joking. I must have got 200 messages from Kickstarter, and they were all weird. Nobody asked me a sensitive question. One guy said, "Is the comic shipping yet?" That's a sensible question.
Okay.
But everybody else was like, I could boost your sales into the stratosphere.
How about just buy my book?
Yeah,
exactly.
If 200 more sales would do a lot more than 200 spam messages.
Oh, no doubt.
But anyway, I'm gonna get going.
Yeah. Okay.
I got Walt Simonson in an hour, an hour and a half. So
thanks for having me on. I appreciate
no problem.
You. Hail, guys, in chat. Hail to everyone in indie comics and CG land. God bless you guys. I will see you in the next live. We'll see you on Red Valkyrie tomorrow, and I'll be on CG Commandos the 27th of November.
Cool.
In between, I'll be in different spots. Caden's channel next
Monday. Got a bunch of people watching. If you back, in the next couple of minutes, he'll give you a stretch goal card right.
I'll give you a sketch card. Yeah, free sketch card for during this live stream. So back it now. Right. I'll give you another hour after this broadcast is over.
I never back live because I'm always afraid I'm going to show my credit card information. So.
No, that's fine. I mean, yeah,
right.
Back it today. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, everybody. I'll see you. Come back at 2:30. Talk with Walt. Bye-bye.